Glass. So much glass.
Next to the Monaros. It is early morning Saturday. I have got the car back on the ground. I've got it roadworthied and registered. And we're going to go for a cruise. We're going to go to a car show this morning. Hopefully the weather's not looking great, but we're going to give it a shot because I've done the paint correction. I don't want to get it covered in rain or road schmuck. But yeah, I'm going to fire it up and let's get cracking. We'll head out to Cars and Coffee. Should be fun. See how she starts this morning. I had to jump the batteries the other day. She'd been sitting for so long, she was dead. We need to go a little bit choke. That's pretty good. I'm hoping the more it runs, the better it gets, the old girl. In the daylight, it doesn't look as good as I had hoped because it's been in the nice dark garage for 6 months. What really stands out is issues with the hood lining, a few other things. I'm going to have to get door rubbers. Anyway, let's go out and enjoy the morning. Nice start this morning, car. That's pretty awesome. Certainly runs better than it did, that the rejetting. I think I've blown a fuse. The horn has stopped working and the interior lights aren't working and the brakes aren't as good as I'm used to. They work, but they're 1970s disc brakes. She's a hard thing to turn. Far out. For a 42-year-old car, this thing drives real nice. No power steering, that's probably the only real problem. It's a bitch to turn corners. But yeah, it's just pottering along nice. It's first. I did a little drive yesterday, just to see how it went. And in the morning, cool morning air here is running beautiful. Very, very happy at this point with how it drives. Alright, so we're here this morning, car is locked up, ready. I'm going to go for a walk. It's nice to come to a car show with a classic car. Next to the Monaros. Got ourselves some vintage Holdens. Recovering quickly from seeing those Monaros, I started to inspect the fruits of the car show. Lots on offer, nice Cressida, some old XP Falcons and some lovely Porsches. I like that very much. It is beautiful inside. The paint on these Porsches was immaculate. Check out this E-Type, also hardtop. Nice. Look at that, original as in there. Had a respray. It's a Jensen. Don't see many of them anymore. Look at that back windscreen.
Glass. So much glass.
Wandering around, there was a fair share of American muscle there today, as well as some Aussie classics. 40s coupe, lovely patina, and check out what's behind the grille. Little spray gun in the radiator there. That's a cool rat rod. Not my thing, but it's cool. Should take my wallet with me. I locked the car and one of the locks is playing up, so I've had to leave it unlocked. And I left my wallet in there, so I think I better get my wallet out. The driver's door lock seems to jam on occasionally, and I didn't want to risk not being able to get into the car, obviously, so I left the passenger's door open but forgot my bloody wallet. Go figure. When I went back to the car, I had a young guy called Thomas notice me from a YouTube channel, and we ended up hanging out for the rest of the day. So hang out with us as we go and check out the cars at Cars and Coffee. Last official one before complete and utter lockdown. One of the first cars to really grab my attention was this beautiful blue Renault Alpine, I don't know how you say it, A110, I think they're still called the A110. These were came out in the 70s and actually won a World Rally Championship. Not this model, obviously. A couple of really nice Mercedes-Benz here, two-door coupe. This thing was mint as. It was fantastic. And both cars, you could tell they were impeccably kept, but both cars still had the original, I think these are the delivery stickers in the windscreen. Just next to that, we spin the camera around and boom, look at that. Bright orange Porsche. That also had a very fantastic Duco, very original. And hi Herbie, over in the background there we can see Herbie the Love Bug. Hope Herbie's going fine. Geminis. Now these things are rare as hen's teeth, particularly in good condition, but particularly in a bloody coupe. Now this is the Sandpiper. Don't know why it was called a Sandpiper, but it has all these little seagulls on the side of the car that Thomas there is taking a photo of. Very collectible. I think this is a Gen 1 Civic. Again, orange. What's with the yellow and the orange today? Look at them everywhere. Now, VK Commodore HDT, usually in blue. This is rare to see one in white. Very hard to find these days. These things were a beast back in the 80s, mid to late 80s. Before the VL actually. And right next to that we've got the AMG Mercedes, a future classic. Rolling out is a fantastic looking Escort. This thing sounded absolutely gorgeous with the Weber carbies sucking in the air as he took off. Yeah, you don't often see Escorts on the road anymore. Get out of the way, Thomas. That's Thomas in front of me there. Now, look at this big bloody lump of metal. Am I right in suggesting that this is the General Lee? A Dodge, is it? Dodge 440? Let me know in the comments. I'm not really sure on that. And of course, a beautiful, I had to look at this thing. Black Porsche just sitting there owning the space. Fantastic. Well, look at what we got here. This is called, I had to Google this. This is a Bug Bond or a Bond Bug, not quite sure. Built in the early 70s by a British company, three-wheeler, very similar, I'd say, to the Robin Reliant. Pretty cool and very neat inside. Always a hell of a lot of eye candy on show here. Great variety of makes and models, supercars and not so supercars, as we saw with the Bug. But my pick are these two Cosworth RS Escorts. Well, at least that's what I think they are. Love these cars. Very rare, not often seen. Fantastic. Moving right along, we now actually have some real classic Holdens here. Looks like a chop top ute there. These are like FJs and FX Holdens. The original Holdens built in Australia in the 50s. And what's a car show without a rotor? In here, we've got ourselves an RX-8 with, I love this ducktail spoiler on the back of this. And the obligatory RX-3 rocks up in mint condition, original, and it's not even brapping, just very subtle. Love it. Could that be the next Flip My Ride car? Wonder what he wants for it. Turns out the owner was standing right next to me, and while I made that comment, and he told me $5,000 would buy it. That's not too bad for a, I think it's a Gen 1 WRX, about a 97 model. Coming to the back end of the Cars and Coffee gathering now, we stumbled upon this big beast, blue Chevy Impala. I was so preoccupied with the sheer size of it, I didn't notice the really cool, nice new Supra in front that I would have liked to have sort of scoped and checked out to see what all the kerfuffle is about. A few more cars we checked out in the back lot here. We've got ourselves, Evos and Renaults and Lotus. But out of all the cars, we've got to finish on something relevant. So here we go with the Peugeot. Ciao for now. Alright, that was good. Within 5 minutes of being there, a guy was looking at the car, and Thomas was his name. G'day, Thomas. And he recognised me from YouTube. How bizarre is that? A very small channel, locally. He has spotted me and recognised the car and me and said g'day, and we ended up spending the rest of the morning walking around checking out the cars. That's the footage you could see, and you could probably hear him in the background. So yeah, thanks Thomas, great to have some company there, mate, and let's head home. Actually, I'm gonna go get some burgers. So many people eating bacon and eggs when I was there that I was hungry, but the lineup was too huge, so I'm gonna find somewhere local and grab myself some morning breakfast.